have we been on?
Do you know what? Fuck it, let's just go straight to that. Yeah, the thingy didn't work properly, did it? Let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Are people watching us right now?
Oh, who cares? Who knows?
Oh,
It's not like you can get any sort of statistics on this.
Oh no, it's gone now. Oh, there's the intro.
That's what we call a technicality. Good evening. Welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. This is the 100-metre final of the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. Tonight, only one of us is going to be going home victorious. The other one is going to limp off, looking a bit ashamed of themselves. Olympics! It's the Olympics. So, we're going a bit sporty tonight. In the course of the research, which I've realised, I haven't seen many sports movies.
Have you not? I've seen loads.
I was trying to think of some. I'm sure I've seen a lot that probably people don't really consider to be sports movies, but we can get into that later. So, yeah. I'm Russ. That's Dan.
Hi.
Hi.
No Tom tonight, or Duncan.
No, well they're still on the team bus back from Tokyo.
Yes, they are. They did very well. So.
Yeah, they've been representing their country at Furtling and grousing, and I'll leave it up to you to decide which one has been doing which.
Don't ever ask Duncan about grouse though, because he'll tell you something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame
from our past.
So, Daniel, what are we talking about tonight?
Olympics, like just in general, Olympic stuff. Like,
are you enjoying the Olympics?
I love it.
I went through it. Every Olympics is the same for me. The build-up is all the sort of cynicism and oh god, nobody really wants it there. And look at all the protests. And the only one that's brought any economic benefit to its country is Barcelona, and that was 1992. And then as soon as the opening ceremony starts, you just bang into it, and suddenly you care
expert on every
more
sport.
about shot put than anything else.
Yeah, I've not been sleeping great, so at the moment, hey Dan, evening. He said evening, gents. I've been every now and then awake at every now and then, consistently every night awake at 3 o'clock in the morning for one reason or another.
Yeah,
and that's when the Olympics starts. So I pop the Olympics on and fall asleep to whatever's going on the Olympics. Loving it. So then I watch. I've got on in the background while I'm preparing for work. I listen to it all on the way into work. I've got the radio on while I'm cashing up, and then it finishes at 3. And if I've got anything to do on the way home, NFL training camps have started. So like you've got Japan time, and then you've got American time.
Yeah,
and there's just
on boring old UK time. That's when you can just do your job.
Exactly. Yeah. So like they're just perfect things to have on in the background while I'm doing other things. So I've loved Olympics, and I've loved NFL training camps.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. Highlights so far: the 3-on-3 basketball. That's brilliant. That one, I think probably obviously like the athletics and stuff, but that one really felt like it suffered from the lack of a crowd. Like the fact that there is a resident DJ on the court really showed you the sort of vibe that they were going for.
Yeah,
but the sport climbing is ridiculous.
I was going to say the climbing.
Those people aren't human.
So this is the first year where I've sat back and looked at gymnasts and gone, "What the fuck? How are they doing that?" Like, I don't know what. I must have just assumed that like when they're doing the rings, I'm like, I'll just hop up there, give that a go.
It's when they do the sort of like. This isn't really part of it. I'm just building up speed. So when they, on the bars and they're just looping round and round a few times, and you're like, whatever. They're just, and then you think about what they're actually doing, and that would take me 100 years.
Yeah.
To do.
So the vaulting, like I think I would fuck up as soon as I hit the springboard.
I see. So I'm actually pretty confident that I wouldn't, because I know that I would wuss out 2/3 of the way down the runway. Just go, no, it's dangerous.
That's really silly.
Looks painful. I'm not doing that. I'd land on my head and kill myself. It's not going to happen.
Biggest surprise, I really got into the sailing, and I think it's partially because we were doing really well.
Well, the sailing was actually exciting this time as well, whereas normally it's a load of people talking about wind statistics, and then somebody wins by about 4 hours because everyone else got things slightly wrong. But the 40 something one with Britain and Germany in like a literal like hairline finish. That was pretty cool.
Unreal. Yeah, that's exciting. The cycling's always exciting.
Yep. Don't understand any of it. What's that motorbike doing there? Why are they all looping around each other? Nobody knows.
Oh, I'm talking about track cycling. The track cycling.
Me too.
I'm really
what's it called? The Kieran, the one with a little guy on a moped.
Yeah.
Who's going around the velodrome with them.
No, that I'm with you now. Yeah. I learn the rules every single Olympic Games.
Oh yeah, every Olympics.
Forget them.
Chris Boardman pops up.
Yeah.
He explains it to everyone, and you go, yeah.
Obviously.
Halfway through the first race, no, I don't know what's happening.
Did you see the Danish guy crash into the back of the British guy?
I did not know.
And,
did you see the Australian guy whose handlebars came off?
Yeah, that
was really bad.
Him. Yeah, it could have killed him. Like, it's fiberglass. We were talking about this on the Gents pod last night.
Yeah, that's quite crazy.
Like, if that had snapped in a different way, it could have just gone through him, which is terrifying to think about, really.
Yeah, you'd hope that they have sort of like fail-safe things in it, but I think they're pretty like low tolerance, those things, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're designed to just be fast, aren't they? Doesn't look like people watching this have watched the Olympics, so I mean, we'll
just turn off.
We'll do a review. We'll explain it to you. It was great. It's been great so far. So Jack says haven't watched a single second of the Olympics. Dan says same. Jack says knowing that a 12-year-old is an Olympic champion is making me really question my life choices more so than normal. You're not alone.
That's the reason that really young athletes should be banned. Not because it's dangerous, not because of their mental health, but because of how inadequate it makes us nearly 40-year-olds feel. And also, I'm basically 4 times older than her, and I've won no medals.
Like when I hear about skateboarding as well, like in my head, I'm imagining Tony Hawk, and I want a tatted up stoner, like in the skateboarding.
Yeah, skating's really changed since Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 came out.
Exactly, yeah. And I just want a guy with like a GB like bandana on, like even wrapped around his wrist or something instead. But other than that, he's just like in like jeans.
And like an I like the Pope. The Pope smokes dope T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, doing a routine to no effects or something like that. Yeah, that's
also actually the skateboarding. I had to sort of readjust my expectation because I'm so used to playing Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
I was literally expecting them to shoot like 50 meters up in the air and have time to do like several tricks linked together. And when they just sort of pop up a little bit, you're like, oh, that's a bit crap, isn't it? And then you actually think about it and you go, no, hang on, that's incredible. The game wasn't terribly realistic in its depiction of physics.
These kids were getting the internet's fucking horrible. Let's just start there. And it's been fucking horrible to Olympic athletes. The way they've treated Simone Biles is fucking disgusting. But there were 13-year-old kids getting stick because they weren't doing all these tricks that all these people at home go, I did that in Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
why are you not doing that?
Just hold down the shoulder button and turn until you're pointed. This piece of piss.
Why are you not doing a handstand into a manual? What's wrong with you? Like, fucking hell. Jack says the reason that there's nobody over 18 probably because they wouldn't pass the drugs test. It's probably true.
Yeah,
but that's who I want. I want. And
I think there are some sports where you just say, you know what, we're not going to test them. It's skateboarding. What can they take that's going to make them any better? Yeah,
we'll check that there's no like engine on the skateboards or something like that. But that's as far as it's going to go. But yeah, but how do you decide like a 12 or 13-year-old is just really good at skateboarding?
Well, there are competitions and things, aren't there?
I suppose so.
I think she had been skateboarding before. She didn't just rock up and go, yeah, I'll have a go.
That's the best tweet I've seen so far, is that the Olympics would be so much better if there was one guy that had never done it before. Like a normal guy.
I mean, I don't want to say I invented that, but I have been insisting on this for years. It could be, there's a few ways it could be done. It could be, I quite like the idea of a random spotlight in the stadium that picks out a spectator. Yeah. Obviously that wouldn't have worked this year. Or you could go with like a jury service model. You get a letter saying you've been selected to represent your country at hurling. Please report to Sochi for the Winter Olympics.
You've got like
not hurling, curling. Hurling's the Irish people hitting each other in a field, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You've got like 3 weeks to learn the sport.
No time at all. You are literally so you get the same equipment as everyone else.
Yeah.
You don't get told how to use it.
Yeah.
You're allowed half an hour to look up YouTube tutorials. But you get the same equipment as everything, and you are just there as the sort of the context setter. to show.
I love
because you
yeah,
watch
to
like the 400 meters or something, and there's always
Yeah.
there's like one guy always in the final who's sort of way behind everyone else.
Yeah.
But what you don't get is just how incredible that still is, unless you have me huffing to the line 45 seconds later on the verge of death.
Yeah, but can you imagine the poor guy they put into taekwondo?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like, you imagine me versus a taekwondo champion, just trying to get my
Yeah.
leg above my
Or
waist.
just like, you get put on the sprung floor, you have a ribbon on a stick put in your hand, and you're told that you've got 1 minute to do a musical themed artistic gymnastics routine.
Just a guy in a hoodie, jeans and Converse, just
Yeah.
hanging on a set of rings.
So it can't be,
Just
and this is
like-
really important, the people that are selected to do this can't be people that want to do it.
No.
You have to have just zero expectations, no knowledge, no preparation.
I think if they get a single point at something as well, they win the tournament.
Basically, yeah. They
Win,
get all
win
the
the
golds.
event, yeah.
Like that, in the Winter Olympics, there was that, the speed skating, where everyone fell over apart from one guy, who just sort of very carefully picked his way
hootled
around the
around,
track
yeah.
a few more times.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things mentioned about gymnasts. Last year, the UK girl fractured her skull, smashed her hand and wrist, and still came third. I thought it was an American. I might be wrong. And I think that was a few years ago.
I mean,
remember.
there's so many other people coming back from ridiculous
Yeah.
injuries. The British girl that got the bronze in the skateboarding fractured her skull and lost a load of teeth
Yeah.
like 6 months ago.
Oh, I imagine this is what he's talking about. So yeah, skateboarding's pretty dangerous, and you got to wonder whether, whether how ethical it is. To be fair, but gymnastics obviously loads come out about. Previous, I think it's got better, but I still don't think it's wonderful. So yeah. What are we going to do then? So I've got like a list of sports from pop culture, like made up sports from pop culture
Yeah,
that might
look
be
at a few
fun
of
at the
those.
Olympics.
Because
Yeah.
let's face it, dressage has got to go.
Yeah,
The talent is all in the horse.
I briefly thought about people that would be good at sports from pop culture as well, and the only one I got was Arthur from Red Dead Redemption in dressage.
Yeah,
That's that's as far as I got.
dressage. It's horse disco. Nobody needs it. Nobody wants it. It's not encouraging ordinary people to get into sport. No,
And it's not-
no inner city teenager is going to go to their parents and say, "Oh, I really want to get into dressage."
They're all the fucking inbred royals anyway that do it.
I mean,
So-
they've been taking great pains to try and point out that they're not all frightfully posh, but
okay,
it's a sport where you wear a frilly little pearl brooch around your neck.
and
It's
there
not a
have
sport.
been members of the royal family winning medals
Yeah.
at this.
Also,
Yeah.
it's so silly.
It is.
You're
silly.
making a horse do a little dance.
show
The
jumping.
show jumping and stuff, the cross countrying, the eventing, that's great.
Yeah.
So the dressage is out of the Olympics, and we need to decide what's going to replace it.
So we replace it with many sports, though. Is the
Yeah,
idea, right?
yeah. Many. They
And
always
any
add in
other
a,
sports you want to get rid of?
they always add in a few wild cards.
I've got
every year.
a controversial one that I don't really see the point of. Can someone explain to me the point of steeplechase?
Is that in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
like
steeple- yeah.
sorry, you were talking human steeplechase.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I am.
But we're still on horses. Yeah, it's just like big hurdles, isn't it?
It's one big hurdle that into water.
Yeah, lose it.
Why?
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. It's gone. Steeplechase out. There's like 50 different types of shooting. Do we need that many?
I think some of
But
them
it
needs to
is
be
quite fun,
streamlined
to
a
be
bit.
fair.
It's
Yeah.
like the way that like the javelin throwers. There's one
Yes.
gold medal for the javelin.
Yeah.
In swimming, there's about 40,000.
Yeah.
So-
you can do a variety of different things. You should get another like different methods of throwing the javelin. Like underarm, for example, should be like a medal. Behind, like throwing backwards.
Yeah,
That should be a medal.
between your legs, like an amateur
Yeah.
bowler.
Yeah, there we go. Two-handed.
Yeah.
Just like that, Russ. Just like that. Yeah.
So we're going to clear out some of the crapper sports. No disrespect to the trained professionals that have dedicated the last 5 years of their lives to perfecting their skills.
Yeah.
And
if we win a gold, then they're back.
oh yeah, then it's suddenly important. And we're going to replace it with a few things. So yeah, we're going to look at some sports movies, some things that would be good made up sports. Dan, what's your first one?
Griffball from Halo.
Nice.
2 teams of 5 in power armor, have hammers, and they got to try and knock the ball into a net by smashing the ball into the ground.
Griffball is about the only mod
Griffball's the one you
thing.
pick up, isn't it? Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, so Griffball, so you can pick it up and then you run.
Yeah, you pick it up and run
stuff,
with it, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like the only sort of mod, community generated mode for a game that I've ever actually enjoyed. I really loved Griffball.
Griffball's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's basically the only way you can get those like Kajillionaire achievements for killing like 40 people in a row.
Yeah, that's on the zombie modes as well. But it's just fun. It's very similar to American football in the sense that you've got people that block, and then you've got someone that runs with the ball.
I see. That's tactics. I didn't do tactics.
Well, I just naturally slipped into tactics because of American football. I was still shit at it, but it was Griffball's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Griffball's awesome. Yeah,
Griffball. And you're thinking of Polo? Yes, I am.
We'd need to sort of think of some way of not, because human beings don't respawn at the goal line if they get obliterated with a hammer.
Power armors and shields, though, they'll be all right.
Oh, we'll just put them in power armor.
Yeah.
Lottery funding. Sort it out. No problem.
Yeah. Mark 4. I can't remember which one's which. And yeah, they got shields in it, isn't it? So like, yeah, they'll probably be all right. I don't think do you die very often in Griffball?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Like every 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, then maybe. I don't know what way around that.
We'll think something. That's up to the IOC to sort out. We're not we're the big picture people here.
Yeah,
we're not little nitty gritty detail like not having all the athletes destroyed in the first 5 seconds of any competition.
Yeah,
it's not our problem to sort out.
Dan says they should incorporate some of the International King of Sports events into the Olympics, such as 3-meter sprint or underwater shot putting. And Jack says he wants the robot NFL from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, you only see like a very brief little screen. It's on the bar, isn't it? In the you want to buy some death sticks place.
It's like for half an hour, George Lucas wanted to humanize this world.
Yeah, so to take that, turn them into robots.
Yeah.
On that subject though, pod racing obviously would be an excellent addition.
I hadn't even thought pod racing. Yeah.
Probably a few physics problems to overcome, but I mean I'm sure it's nothing that the boffins at McLaren couldn't sort out.
I look at gymnasts and I don't believe physics is real anymore.
No.
This is going right up there with my obvious anti-vax opinions as well. So that the vaccine does more harm than good. It's what's some of the things? Oh, the genetic code is 666, which means it's the devil.
None of that means anything.
No, 5G. People still get sick with the vaccine, Russ. These are all facts.
I mean, that last one. I mean, it is a fact. It's an irrelevant fact. That shouldn't change your mind.
You can read all this on my blog. The entire thing is a black background with green writing, and it's got like a little tracker of like how many people have visited the page as well.
So you used to get proper good conspiracy theory websites back in the late 90s.
Yeah, no.
Back when the internet was fun. Rubbish now.
It is, isn't it?
It's more useful, but it's not as much fun as it used to be.
You put a conspiracy theory up nowadays, and then everyone goes, "Yeah, you're fucking right."
I mean, people used to actually build. Yeah, if you
wanted to invade Capitol Hill,
if you wanted to put a website up, you had to go and build a fucking website using all of your no skills and little free downloaded GIF converter. Now you just have social media. It's rubbish. It's rubbish.
Every website looked like Homer Simpson's website, where he just shoved everything on it, like at the same time, like dancing hamsters and
God, that dancing hamster website. Absolutely, that was one of the first websites I ever went to.
I remember being blown away by it.
It's an animated GIF.
Truly, the future is here. Those hamsters are dancing, and that song, man, that song. I'm never going to get bored of that.
Our computer at home didn't have a sound card.
Yeah.
So when we got one that did, and then I realised that website played a song as well. I mean, that was That was next level stuff.
Yeah, the internet used to be so much fun. I say you put conspiracy theory on the internet then, few people look at it and go, yeah, maybe. You put a conspiracy theory on the internet now, in QAnon.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not. It's lost the fun.
That's not fun. That's scary. Fuck that. Dan says Blitzball from Final Fantasy 14. I don't know. I've never played Final Fantasy.
I'm not familiar, but it sounds good.
No, it sounds like fun. It's got the word blitz and ball, and that's something that happens in American football, which I like. So,
absolutely. I'd also like to put forward clench ball, which nobody else will know about, but that is the sport that we invented in our shared flat, which is basically a cross between volleyball and indoor, what's it called, real tennis, that Henry VIII used to play.
We got so sweaty playing clench ball.
Well, the heating was on.
The heating was always on. We were listening to the Top Gun soundtrack.
Well, I mean, that's part of the sport, part of the rules of the sport. You can only make your serve at the moment that the F-15's engines kick in on the Top Gun soundtrack.
There were some fun rules, like the referee could only use lines from Street Fighter.
Lines from Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And the net was made of Brokeback Mountain standee folded in half that you had borrowed from work.
Borrowed, yeah.
But that was regulation, the Loverboard.
Yeah, the fact is that it's impossible to recreate now because the balls were free balls given away by the local petrol station.
When you bought a Solero, yeah.
When you bought a Solero. Obviously. Oh, God, I do miss clench ball. When the guy gave us like another 3 balls and we were like, you have no idea how happy you've made
we're
us.
never getting our deposit back if you give us those 3 balls.
Yeah.
But I suppose not a million miles away. Quidditch would if you got rid of the obvious problem of the snitch ruining the game and just making Harry Potter look like a fucking genius, then Quidditch would be good. Quidditch is a great game unless you involve the golden snitch, in which case it's a pointless game.
But you know what they say about snitches as well.
Yeah, they ruin an otherwise credible sport.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say about snitches. Yeah,
but is it the 4th? I don't remember the one where they go to the Quidditch World Cup. She goes to great pains to try and desperately construct a scenario where grabbing the snitch doesn't win you the game. But it doesn't work. Basically, whoever catches the snitch wins, and whatever everyone else. They may as well just like sit down and have a fag or something. It doesn't do anything the rest of the game. So get rid of the snitch and just have the what they call the quaffle and the bludgers and all that lot. That would be a good game.
Yeah, stupid names though.
Well, obviously.
Like I hate that about made up sports when they put stupid names in. Like they should make sense. Like you look at something like rugby, American football, the positions names make sense for a variety of reasons. Are they hilarious? Yes, tight end and wide receiver are hilarious names, but they do make sense.
I mean, I suppose the position names in Quidditch are fine. Just all the other names are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bullshit, really.
Yeah,
bullshit. Made up, isn't it? Yeah.
Small issue. It's magic.
It's magic. Yeah, people do play Quidditch though, don't they? I don't know how.
No. Very tragic people run around parks on brooms filming themselves.
Is that what it is?
Big difference.
Do they actually have brooms between their legs when they play?
Yeah.
I thought someone came up with like a fairly sensible interpretation of the rules.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still limited to the fact that humans are affected by gravity.
Yeah, well, once again, I've watched gymnastics and I'm not sure anymore, Russ.
They're definitely not affected in the same way.
Jack says he'd like to bring jousting back.
Oh, yes.
I'd watch it, yeah.
Because jousting was like it was a sport. It was entertainment. You weren't trying to kill the other person. You were just trying to unhorse them. It was, you know, people got banged up a bit, but it's pretty rare for somebody to die.
It wasn't. Yeah, I know everything about jousting from one film, and that's Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
So,
which, brief pause, is an excellent movie.
It is, yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
Truly underrated cast as well.
There was a lot of people sort of headed for the big time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it shows that they're designed to break off. They're not designed to stab.
Yeah, and most of those tournament things were you like a tournament sword was blunted. You were scoring points basically, weren't you?
Yeah, and it's the reason you're wearing armor while you're doing it, which is that you're trying to protect yourself. You're not trying to get stabbed.
Yeah, jousting would be pretty cool.
Would be.
You do it on horses or motorbikes?
Well, like many Olympic sports, there are many different variants. So you could have horse jousting, you could have motorbike jousting.
So you can start. You go up from all the way from like donkey jousting, and then you got the really dangerous. You got like tiger jousting.
In when I worked at Safeway, we had pump truck jousting.
So that's tricky because controlling a speeding pump truck is quite difficult. The steering on those things, if you're adopting the rearward facing skate through the middle of the forks technique, which is obviously standard. The steering is very twitchy. If you a little bit too much, and you will flip that thing, and that fucking hurts having a pump truck come over on you.
Jack says the last discipline for jousting is an F1 car.
I think that probably would be quite bad for you.
Yeah, that might be dangerous.
200 mile an hour fiberglass pole through the skull.
Might hurt, mightn't it? Yeah, I like the jousting idea.
Definitely. A lot of skill to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. My next one. The Olympic Games is considered the Game of Games, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else is considered the Game of Games?
What else is considered the Game of Games?
Charlie McDennis 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Nice.
That's got to go in there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been rewatching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I say I've just been rewatching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I never stop rewatching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It just kind of keeps rotating through.
Well, there's so much of it now. It's kind of like a painting the fourth bridge kind of a situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to present various problems. No formalised rules anywhere.
No.
It seems to be sort of randomly generated every time they play.
Yeah.
But tremendous sort of spectator fun value.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to do the jigs, trying to do the puzzle with the bottle that they've got to glue back together.
This bottle.
Oh, it's so funny. Because Dennis is a bastard man.
Charlie, no like Dennis. Why? Amazing.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. So Charlie McDennis too, Electric Boogaloo. With the flags, with the is it the drink reception at the start, whatever it's called?
Oh yeah, we have to be polite to each other for the wine and cheese reception at the start.
That's it. Yeah. Love it. Got to have Charlie McDennis too in there.
Amazing.
Got any more?
I think it's a pretty well formed sport, even though the people portraying it on screen were clearly making it up as they went along. Pyramid from BSG. Sort of combination basketball, American football type thing, with a bit of netball thrown in there as well, because they seem to stop when they get the ball. But yeah, really obvious that the actors were told to go and play Pyramid, and then they all went, "What's Pyramid? How do you play it?" And they just threw a ball around and shouted some things at each other.
You got a pyramid. Well done.
Sick double pyramid.
Oh man, you totally pyramided the pyramid.
But I mean, obviously, of course, it saved Anders and his team because they're in the mountains, high altitude training at this weird sport, which is what saved them from the Cylon attack.
Just an everyday thing that happens, So yeah, makes sense. Yeah, pyramid. And while we're at it, whatever they're playing in The Expanse, Naomi and Drummer are playing in The Expanse as well, with the ball.
Yeah, that seems even more vaguely defined, that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're just hitting a ball against a wall, and then they go, "We must hydrate." So, while we're at it, though, from The Expanse, I want to bring slingshotting into the Olympic Games.
Right, so you're looking at quite the expansion of necessary budgets and technologies and things there.
Yes, it can still be the Tokyo Games. They can end there.
With the start and finish, but we're requiring. I mean, it's not faster than light propulsion, is it?
No, no.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable actually.
They're just using planets to. I mean, you'd have to start 3-4 months before the Olympic Games start. But I'm sure that'll be fine.
There was one thing that's slightly annoying about the so when a spacecraft gets a gravity assist from a planet, it's not because it doesn't slingshot around it. That doesn't make you go any faster, because all the speed you gain going into the gravity well, you lose coming out of it. You get a gravity assist by getting into a planet's gravity well as that planet is moving in the direction you're going, and then when you come out, you've picked up some momentum from the planet. So you don't go round it and come off faster.
No, but I would imagine they've taken that into account.
Oh, I mean, clearly, there's going to be smarter people than us working on this. They'd have to be. They're going to have to invent spaceships.
Yeah, true. Well, no, yeah, exactly. But I would imagine the Expanse has taken that into account, because they take all of this shit into account. So,
yeah, I think the Expanse was okay with that. I think the main culprits are things like Star Trek and Red Dwarf.
Yeah, my favorite is when he has to send the Rocinante around all the moons and the planets to try and get to Mars without using propulsion.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it works. You can
Exactly.
you get pulled into a gravity well and you come out at an advantageous vector.
So yeah, slingshotting though at the Olympic Games. Let's do it.
Yeah, with those awesome looking spaceships that do not need to be aerodynamic,
No,
but they
So
look
they're not.
freaking awesome.
oh no. So the Razorback's not a slingshotting.
No, but it is like a racing ship, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a racing pinnace. Yeah. Whereas the slingshotter in season 3, it looks like it's just a box basically, isn't it?
I think that's essentially what it's literally just the drive with a little pressurized box on the top.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Looks awesome. And also one of the best moments in The Expanse as well.
Yeah.
Well, just that whole episode you don't see coming, because it all of a sudden becomes a comedy. It's the first time they've ever done it, and I think we talked about this before on the pod, so I'll shut up. But it's just it's a comedic episode right up until.
Well, and you have all this completely unnecessary backstory to that guy as well, because it's cut to him 10, 12 times. You get to know a bit about his background, his friends, his relationship,
his
all sorts of
girlfriend
stuff
with
is
the guy in the background just walking around in the banana hammock. The belter version of the Deep Purple song, and I Can't Live If Living Is Without You as well. All while all by myself, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
All while every time he's trying to become famous, James Holden's face keeps appearing on the screen in The Ring, and then The Ring is obviously gets its revenge. So good, so good. Jack says, I think an Olympic level Running Man Hunger Games would be entertaining. I was going to say Hunger Games. You don't have to kill people, just
Or do it like paintball or airsoft style.
Well, paintball was going to be one of mine, because I think Community has provided several opportunities for potential Olympic Games, and paintball was definitely one of them. I actually think paintball would be quite a good Olympic game.
Yeah. Yeah, you maybe worry slightly about the sort of people who would get very into it.
Yeah,
Mike from Spaced is not
Russ.
that far off a lot of very serious paintball players.
Yeah. Airsoft seems to have pulled in a number of the more serious paintball people now.
Yeah, some of those people are deeply scary, the
Yeah.
airsoft people.
Yeah.
I don't think they realise that they're playing a game.
No, this is war to them. This is like God, what's the one with the Russians invade? The American film where the Russians invade.
Oh, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got quite a lot of that sort of vibe to it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, maybe that would be a problem. And then the other one from Community I thought was Floor is Lava.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're sort of getting into the whole realm of weird Japanese game shows and stuff there as well. I mean, Takeshi's Castle could very easily be codified as a sport, or that one where they have to jump through holes in the wall. I think it's called Hole in the Wall.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, like Krypton Factor as well would be pub. Yeah. Jamie says, hello, Jamie. Jamie says, enhanced human Olympics, like all Captain America's kind of thing.
I thought you just meant a category where there's no doping restrictions.
I kind of think there's part of me that goes, just let them have one. Let's just have one. See what happens.
The juicers race.
Yeah. Just the Boulder Canyon from Takeshi's Castle, Jack says. Let's do that. There's another one from Community as well, but I've forgotten.
I mean, there are so like going from you get things like the Jimmy Jab games from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or the
my god,
the Office Olympics from The Office.
Yeah.
Just sort of little made up, because I think that the way that would work is you can't be good at it because the games are literally made up there and then by the officials, just with whatever happens to be lying around. So to be good at it, you just need enthusiasm and the ability to adapt. But you couldn't really train for the Jimmy Jab games.
The other one I thought was the Pop and Lockathon from Community as well. That was the other one I was trying to think of.
It's more of an endurance event, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Team Pop and like it'd be great. You should have a 24-hour camera on, and you just let them go at it. You can every now and then just tune into. It's like when I was particularly bored and couldn't sleep, and I'd watch the people in Big Brother sleep.
Just to come to your defence, that was in the very first series of Big Brother, wasn't it? Back when being interested in Big Brother was considered acceptable.
Yeah, still weird though. I probably wouldn't do it now.
Probably.
No, I just watch other. I just look through people's windows. First.
Yeah, got a car now. Can go and just
peer
through people's windows.
No. I thought some of the stuff from Pilot Wings might be fun as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So like parachuting through hoops, basically. Like it has like slalom skiing to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that pops up in quite a lot of games, doesn't it? That kind of controlled parachuting.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably on the less side of the possibility spectrum.
And I like the idea. This isn't something in a game, but it's just a game. So one of the things they briefly considered was competitive, like StarCraft, for like the Olympics. So
for the Olympic, esports in the Olympics?
Yeah.
See, that does get. I know a lot of the stuff we've suggested would cross this line, but
I mean, I hate the idea personally.
You call it esports if you want, fine.
Yeah.
But they're not athletes, and it's not a sport. It's a game. Nothing wrong with that, but it's a different thing.
Yeah. The only one I thought that you could do is Sonic Speedrun. I'd watch that. But everyone's got to like beat a certain score in Sonic. You pick a level. Everyone's got to beat it.
But no, you can't. That's not allowed in the Olympics. Not a sport.
Fair enough. Jamie says jetpacks would be amazing. I don't know whether that's like in relation to anything or just
jetpacks would be amazing. So there, I mean, there was a jetpack at the '88 Olympics in LA, wasn't there? Was it '88?
I think so. Yeah.
Barcelona was '92, wasn't it? No, '88 was Seoul.
Yeah.
So I think it was it the '84 Olympics in LA? Yeah, it was '84. They had a guy in a jetpack at the opening ceremony, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's very true.
He wasn't competing at anything.
No, but if you had like jetpacks competing, like full-on Space Marine assault troops, like jetpacks, you know, the really big ones that look like that if a normal person put them on, then it would instantly kill them.
Like raptors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan says if chess isn't an Olympics esport, then chess isn't at the Olympics, then esports shouldn't be. You see, I'd watch chess. Do you know what I'd watch? I mean, I'd watch people playing drafts instead of chess. I'd watch chess as well. Or
but
Ludo.
you can watch chess. You can watch the chess championships, can't you?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's right. Chess is a game. It's not a sport. None of the people that play it would suggest it was a sport.
What about things like pool and darts, though?
See, they fall into a slight grey area, don't they? But I still think that they're more of a game than any. You can't call it a sport if you can be heavily drinking while playing it.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, apparently chess is actually recognised as a sport by the IOC.
It is, but I mean, again, we're going by the highest possible court in the land. My personal feelings about something. Star Wars is not science fiction, and chess is not a sport. We're not getting into
this again. Star Wars is science fiction.
It's really not.
It is science fiction.
It's really not, but never mind.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can call it a sport if you want, but I don't think chess is a sport. because it's all in your mind, isn't it?
Here's the thing, right? I'd love to see, as Dan says, pool and darts require dexterity and motor skills.
Yeah, they do, as does playing computer games. But I don't know. It's a very, as Trevor Phillips says, it's like trying to define the perfect turd. You can't describe it. You just know it when you see it. So
Oh no, I'd love to see darts at the Olympics. Darts is one of
televised darts is so much fun.
It is. It's brilliant.
But that's because it's footage of a massive piss up.
No, it's not. It's what's fun about it is it's genuinely tense, and more. There are enough nations that are good at it that it would be exciting at the Olympics.
I think probably something like darts, pool, snooker. You could probably call those sports.
Also, Russ, what have you done? Dan says Star Wars is science fantasy. Jamie says Star Wars is space drama. It's a sci-fi, is what it is.
It's not sci-fi.
It fucking is.
It's not according to my personal definitions of science fiction. It's about a magic boy.
It doesn't give a... The setting is important to Star Wars. That's what's important.
Yeah. The setting's important. It's a big part of what makes it good. But it's not sci-fi.
It is a fucking...
It's not. There's nothing. There's no core sort of... It's not looking at what any particular scientific changes do to humanity or civilization.
But science fiction was redefined. It's not just 3 fucking sci-fi writers anymore. The science fiction has been redefined to be this giant fucking genre. Like it's science fiction. Everything
really
about it is.
It's really not. Ask me another film or TV show.
Dan says Battlestar Galactica isn't sci-fi either.
It's not. It's a sort of a survival story. It's not really. You could make a slight argument because it's all about, that it's caused by sort of AI and stuff, but it's really not sci-fi.
I will say Battlestar Galactica is less of a sci-fi than Star Wars.
It's a sort of a war, political machinations.
Desperately trying to define something that has already been defined.
It's not, but it's not defined. It's a very nebulous thing. The Expanse, that's sci-fi. Because the core concept of it is about the colonization of the solar system and the effects that has on humanity.
BSG has mystical elements in it, Dan says. Jack says BSG is more sci-fi than Star Wars. No.
BSG is more sci-fi than Star Wars.
They're both sci-fi.
No, neither of them are.
Yes, they are. Yeah. No, I'm not having it. It's such a hipster bullshit thing to say. No, fuck no. Fucking Olympics, Russ. Come on.
Now that is sci-fi.
What? The Olympics is sci-fi?
Yeah. It will be by the time you finish with it because it's going to involve space races and power armor.
They have no noise in space, which makes it 90% of other sci-fis. Better than other sci-fis. It's true. That's true. Yeah, there are scientific elements to Olympics.
So we haven't actually sort of talked about any sports movies yet. So I mean, I think the obvious one
regale us with sports movies
is classic science fiction, Cool Runnings, which it's just a delight. That movie, it's so much fun. And like
Jack says, The Expanse isn't sci-fi. So I've got to stop now for a second. The Expanse is sci-fi. Jack, just carry on. Sorry.
Very loosely based on a true story, but
yes.
Like very loosely based on a true story. But fucking brilliant movie.
It is. I haven't watched it in years.
But you don't need to. It's like an old, you remember it all. I did watch it not all that long ago, and it holds up. It's really good.
Remember everyone in the film being really likable? That's the overwhelming feeling from that. It's like that you're rooting for pretty much everyone in the film. You're rooting for John Candy. You're rooting for the entire bobsled team.
And yeah, like I obviously, I mean, I was like 9 when I first saw that film.
I went to see it.
I wasn't aware of the story behind it. So like proper drama at the end as well.
Yeah. Oh man, the bit where they carry the bobsled over the thing.
Yeah. And then also the sort of what I see as the spiritual sequel to Cool Runnings is Eddie the Eagle.
That's a great film.
Have you seen it? That is a brilliant movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it.
Very funny and just deeply just a weird guy.
He is just a weird guy, isn't he?
But so likable.
Yeah, and just went for it. Like it's just
with not really much in the way of talent backing him up.
No. Oh no, Eddie, yeah, that is good as well. Most of my sports films are American football films, funnily enough, for us.
Well, you know, I would have.
Are we sticking with just films?
No, whatever you want.
Because obviously the big sports thing at the moment is Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Which is fucking brilliant. And I thank you for that, Russ. I think you and Shah got me into that.
Well, I think like most sports things that are really, really good, it's not about the sport. It's about the people. You know,
exactly.
a sports movie that is literally just about like, will this team win or will this one win, is very rarely interesting.
Yeah.
So the good ones are ones that you can enjoy if you don't remotely give a shit about that sport.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love Ted Lasso. I can't wait till you start watching season 2.
Yeah, we're gonna have an absolute binge of the Apple TV stuff and try and get it all done in 4 weeks.
Is that Mythic Quest as well?
Yeah, that Mythic Quest. There's a couple of other things on there. I think there's that Beastie Boys documentaries on there that I really want to see.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Or a Beastie Boys documentary is on there.
There's that Summer of Soul one as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there, I think.
The 1971 one's quite good as well. Watch that. Jack says Escape to Victory is a classic. Friday Night Lights is the one that always comes to mind. That's my favourite.
Yeah, I mean that is incredible.
Yeah, I'm talking about the film as well as the TV series.
Yeah, I never actually got around to seeing the film, but it's sort of similar kind of vibes, isn't it?
Yeah, so the film's actually based on the book, which is the story of a journalist that went and spent an entire football season in a Texas town that takes high school football very seriously. So it's the story of someone watching 15,000 people turn up to a high school American football game to watch 15, 16-year-olds play American football with the pressure of a championship team in the UK. It's absolutely crazy. It talks about like when the coach lost games, the real estate agents would put to let signs like on his lawn and stuff like that. Like they took it that seriously. The abuse the players got if they messed up a play, and they are like all 15 years old. It is utterly bonkers, and the film kind of encapsulates that. It's slightly made up, but it still stays very close to the book. The book is kind of heartbreaking at times, and then the TV series is almost entirely it is entirely fictional, but loosely based on some of the events from the book. So,
yep.
So Friday Night Lights is great. Other sports films, Moneyball. I absolutely love Moneyball. Like Moneyball, every time I watch Moneyball, I think I'm gonna watch baseball.
I'm gonna get into baseball. I think the only way you can probably enjoy baseball is if you are drinking beer and eating a hot dog in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you don't need to watch baseball. You just look at the statistics afterwards.
Yeah.
Which, from what I understand, is really where people actually derive most pleasure from that sport.
Yeah.
The actual games are a sort of random numbers generator to then go and argue about statistics afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the people sitting there with their little pens and paper.
Yeah. Also, Dodgeball, incredible sports movie.
Yeah.
And in that vein as well, Happy Gilmore. And I'd consider The Big Lebowski to be a sports movie.
Okay, kinda, except you never actually see anyone bowl in that film.
Yeah, but it's not about the sport, is it? It's about the people.
Kingpin, if you're talking like sports films,
Kingpin,
bowling films. Kingpin's a fucking brilliant film as well. I love Big Lebowski, by the way. Someone, Jack just said, I think we should genetically modify some national animals and get Blood Bowl at the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think Peter will be fine with that. Can't see them having a problem with that at all.
Oh, there's a stringent regulations in place, I'm sure it wouldn't be an issue.
Should be fine. No worries, no problems at all. I mean, yeah, American football films. We can,
Or instead of, I mean, you could just get some people to play Blood Bowl and televise it. I mean, they sit there on a board rolling dice and moving figures around.
I mean, I'd watch it. Oh, competitive 40k.
I mean, there are plenty of ways that you can watch that already if that's your idea of a good time.
Yeah, Olympic 40k though.
Oh, God, you know, I thought I was clean of 40k, but this new kill team.
No, fuck that, Russ. No,
it looks good.
It's bullshit.
It looks
fucking
good.
bullshit.
You only need to get 6 guys.
No, okay, you need 6 guys, and I learnt this with Necromunda. 40 books though.
Yeah.
So like, where you don't need the models, then they make up for it with books and scenery and dice and all other kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but then you get the Warhammer Plus thing now, can't you? And all that is some money every month for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, no, I'm clean from Warhammer now.
Yeah,
except for Necromunda.
I think I am out. I got rid of
D&D weaned me off of Necromunda, Warhammer.
If I got into D&D back when I was 12, I'd be a millionaire.
I'd be driving a Land Rover Evoque, own my own yacht. Yeah.
I mean, do you want it? If I had taken all the money that I spent at Games Workshop and bought Games Workshop shares at that time, I probably would be a millionaire now.
Yeah,
it's insane how well that company's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense considering no one's allowed to see anyone either, which is a bit weird.
But I think they've always known that a huge amount of the people buying stuff never actually play anything with it.
Yep. My the box set I bought 2 years ago is just kind of sitting in there. I built all the scenery, haven't built any of the models yet. I will do at some point. I've got Warhammer Quest as well. Never really played it. Played it once, I think. Jack says the poor 40k players being the only people in the Olympic Village not banging.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me laugh.
That would be great, like in a village of some of the most like honed, physically perfect specimens on the planet, and the 40k team from Belarus.
Yeah, every now and then the rifle shooters would go and speak to them, but even then they're like, no, come on.
Yeah, guys. No, you can't have a go with it. No, okay, yeah, you're too weird. Back off.
Yeah. God, why does it smell like paint and sweat in here?
So I'm assuming that Games Workshops aren't like that anymore because they've got all these sexy, famous people that play it now. You know, you've got
Like
Henry Cavill's popping into every local Games Workshop every week.
Henry Cavill does every nerdy thing ever.
Yeah.
He can't just be
back
Henry
when
Cavill.
we were 13.
Yeah.
Who? If somebody was taking the piss out of it, who could you go and say, "Well, did you know Vin Diesel does it?" We didn't have one of those.
No, we didn't.
There was no such thing as a high-profile nerd back then.
Yeah. No, it was something you did in private, wasn't it? I remember all of us at the time just having a discussion about, do we tell our girlfriends?
I think they knew.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between them knowing about it and them like if they'd ever actually like watched a game. I mean, I think about 10 minutes in, they'd have lost any interest and just decided never to see any of us again.
Their loss, Russ, because we had a lot of fun playing Necromunda.
Indeed.
With the ridiculous scenery, like that you could get your hand in to move the models.
The original Necromunda scenery is that was the best set of scenery you got in a box set that Games Workshop have ever done.
I'll show you what the box that I bought last year is.
But now they'll just charge you £500 for a pre-sculpted
it wasn't cheap.
Square foot of tile.
It was, I think it was 180 quid.
Dick!
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's why, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a quarter of a D&D Beyond Legendary subscription. Which is also terrifying, but yeah. Is that what we wanted to talk about?
Well, we
done
started talking
Olympics?
about sports, but we've got it back to science fiction, 40k, and
Yeah.
D&D, so that's all good.
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Really, that's what we're
Mhm.
aiming for most of the time with our podcasts.
But yeah, no, I just think in general, I have honestly been really enjoying the Olympics as always,
Mhm.
and yeah, a few more days
I'll
to
be-
go.
I'll be sad when it's over, but
Yeah,
it
we're
does
away
time
this
nicely with the NFL season starting.
we're away this weekend, so I think I'm going to miss most of it.
Yeah, you should. This should be your gateway into watching other sports.
Yeah, take time and effort and knowing
Find a
stuff.
sport at the Olympics and just get really into it.
I think sport climbing is definitely one of those things that I'd be like, I'm going to go on YouTube and watch some sport climbing for a little bit because it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would be entertaining. If shooting's a sport, by the way, then pool and darts have every right to be a sport as well, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
I
that.
issued my verdict. Pool stuff like pool and darts and snooker, those are sports.
There we go then.
Because people have the
Yeah,
same problem with
exactly.
stuff like driving not being
Yeah.
a sport because you're sat down in the car. But that's nonsense. It's all about the physical control that you're exerting on it.
Yeah, I think half the people say that just because they hate Lewis Hamilton for some weird
Yeah.
reason.
And anyone says that esports should be sports because you're physically controlling the keyboard and mouse can fuck off.
I agree. I'm not in on esports really. Mostly because I hate the term esports.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah, I don't really.
And the way they sit there in those like racing car chairs with their athletic go faster tops on. You are sat in a chair.
Yeah.
Very little is going to befall you.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I think it's, I think it, obviously takes some talent. A lot.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not a sport.
Oh, Jack points out though, once it's over, you have just a little wait to the more heartwarming Paralympics. This is true.
True.
Paralympics
Actually,
is fucking awesome as well.
Paralympics has got some ridiculously cool sports in it.
Yeah, he also says, what if it's esports using the Wii controls? There you go. Does that solve the problems? By the way, happy Wii Sports. Happy Wii Shop Wednesday.
Is that a thing?
Every Wednesday.
What? There's one game that's slightly less than a hugely extortionate rip-off.
It's on Twitter. There's an account keeps putting up the this Wii Shop Wednesday video.
Okay.
And I watch it every single week.
Is this a youth thing?
Probably.
Okay.
Youth don't know what Wii's are. They've never owned one.
Yeah, it's true actually. The Wii's are things that like your grandparents have now, aren't they?
Yeah. Wii's were always something your grandparents had, weren't they? That's why they were so popular. Everyone had a Wii. Except for me. I never had one. There we go.
Well, that's
Sometimes-
because the people that bought Wii's were all the people that didn't already have a console.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, 'cause
basically, like,
most of the games
all
on
the
the Wii
people.
were the games. That's not true. Actually, there were some really good games on the Wii. I'll shut up. Don't know anything. Fucking idiot, Dan. What are you talking about? Plus, Virtual Console is actually really good.
Right, come on. Let's
Are we
let's
wrapping this up
sail
now?
this thing into port and cross the line and stand on the podium and all that
And with
jazz.
the gold, like our brave sailors did. Okay, yeah. So wrapping this up, yeah.
I mean, it's been about an hour. We've done our job. We can go home now.
Okay then. So, thank you for listening and watching us. I think Tom will be back next week, and he's so much better at this than me.
Hooray.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, I've got to be honest. I've been barely engaged with this while he's not been here. It's all about Tom, as far as I'm concerned.
That's hurtful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just honest feedback.
Thanks,
He agrees
thanks.
that Star Wars isn't sci-fi.
No, he fucking doesn't. And if he
I
does,
think
he's
he does.
a
I think he
cunt
does.
as well. Fuck a lot of you. Fuck this shit. Anyway, thank you for watching us, even if you have a weird opinion about Star Wars. If you want to contact us, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. It's at TMTOH. Or come join our Discord where we're having many conversations about such things. Discord is a lot of fun, and you can play this banking game that has been driving me absolutely fucking crazy this week. So come join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll talk about whether Star Wars is a sci-fi or not. Yes, we will. There is, at some point going up the next couple of days, we did kind of a loosey podcast, like a loosey-goosey podcast on Marvel in Marvel. We discussed which characters we would like to bring to our dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
And then we discussed actors that were born to play roles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good fun. So that's
Cool.
going to go up soon. I think next week we'll talk about something different.
Great.
Probably.
Rather than doing the same thing again.
Yep. Or we could just talk about the same thing again. Probably won't have the same results, so you never know. Means a lot if you're watching us, by the way. That genuinely does mean a lot. So thank you for watching us. If you are listening to us, why not go and listen? Why not go and watch us?
I mean, don't ask them why not, because there are so many reasons. But hopefully
I
someone will
I
forget
have
that.
a little favour to ask everyone as well.
Okay.
It would mean an awful lot to us if you went and left us a review on the variety of different pod subscription services.
Do you know what,
if you
I'd
haven't subscribed,
rather they didn't.
subscribe.
I'd rather they didn't.
Really?
I'd take a lack of a review as a tacit, unspoken 5 stars.
No, I know, but it does really help us actually get listeners, Russ. So if you could leave a
Just
review.
try some reverse psychology on them.
Okay, fine. Don't leave us a review. Please leave us a review. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go back and watch all the other old videos that are on. They're all
Do
on the
it.
list,
Do
aren't
it. I haven't been asked to put together one of those annoying little bell popping up animations, and you're welcome for that, because they really bug me on people's YouTube
Do you not
channels.
Do you not want to do that then? That's a good idea. You should definitely do one of those.
I find that very annoying. That puts me off people's YouTube channels when they have
As soon
a
as you see one,
ding
you're like, no, I won't
thing popping
subscribe.
up. No, I won't fucking subscribe.
Do any of the PC building people, do they put them up there?
I mean, any big channel pretty much does now.
I don't remember Jay's 2 cents doing it. That's all.
I think he does. But if you're like making your living off of it, you kind of have to.
I think this is a big week for me, by the way, because I think Jay's 2 cents might have overtaken Bitwit as my favourite PC building person.
Drama.
Mhm.
I really like JC Sense.
Yeah, he's quite normal, and I like him,
Mm.
and he's not afraid to call out the man. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you for listening. Go leave us subscriptions. Go follow us, subscribe, like all our videos, like everything we do. Like us, please. Like us, please.
That's
Please.
basically what that bit at the end of any podcast is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Please like us.
Please validate what I'm doing. But reviews mean an awful lot to us on the subscription service. So like on iTunes, on Spotify, I don't even know where they do reviews in there, but on iTunes it means an awful lot in terms of getting more people to actually listen to the podcast. We've got a few people listening at the moment, so I'd quite like to keep that going.
Bang, do it.
Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with Timothy. Russ, thanks very much, man.
You're very welcome. Anytime.
Olympics.
Olympics.
And cue the music.